My name is Isabella Verdugo. I am a McKinstry lead on the Federal Funding Strategy team. Many programs within the Inflation Reduction Act give you a bigger incentive if you are willing to meet labor requirements. These labor requirements are split into two categories that a client must meet. One category is that laborers must be paid a prevailing wage. They are dependent on the region that the laborers are in, and they are also dependent on the type of job that they perform. Someone who is performing plumbing work in Idaho will have a different set of prevailing wages determined by the Department of Labor than an electrician that's working in Washington. The other category of labor requirements are apprentice utilization ratios. So out of all the labor hours, a certain percentage have to be performed by apprentices. This is a sliding scale dependent on what year construction begins. So if construction began this year in 2023, there has to be 12.5% of the labor hours must be completed by apprentices. Another apprentice utilization ratio that has to be met is if a contractor or subcontractor contracts 4 or more individuals to complete a part of the project, 1 out of 4 of those individuals must be an apprentice. If there are any stricter apprentice utilization ratios dependent on region or the union that the apprentices are a part of, these must also be met. If the project is over 1 megawatt, then you need to evaluate if you want to meet these labor requirements or not. If the labor requirements are not met, then it's only a 6% base credit that will be received. If the labor requirements are met, then it's going to be a 30% base credit that will be received. The labor requirements also impact your bonus credits that you may be eligible for. So if the labor requirements are not met, the bonus credits are only 2%. If the labor requirements are met, then the bonus credits are 10% that are stackable on top of the base credit. Projects need to look into complying with these labor requirements only for projects that are over 1 megawatt and began construction after January 29th, 2023. There is meticulous record keeping when it comes to making sure that the client meets prevailing wages and to show that all the apprentice utilization ratios were met. These records have to be kept for 10 years, starting at when the project is placed in service. During those 10 years, any repairs or alterations also need to meet these labor requirements as well. These records also need to be kept on hand for 10 years, starting at placed in service. And these records will show the wages that were paid to making sure that the laborers receive prevailing wages and to show that all the apprentice utilization ratios were met during the construction and during any repairs or alterations for the project within the 10-year mark. So McKinstry has a lot of experience meeting different prevailing wage requirements and meeting different apprentice utilization ratios. We are your trusted partner to help you meet these labor requirements for any program under the Inflation Reduction Act, especially for the investment tax credit.